Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here today. We really appreciate it. Always like having a full crowd to attend our meetings, and so we look forward to have a pretty full agenda once again. And so we're going to try to move things along. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and open the meeting. And the first order of business is for us to consider the approval of the minutes from our last meeting. I assume our commissioners all had a chance to review those. And are there any changes or edits you'd like to make? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been a motion and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Minutes are approved. On to the next order of business, resolution number 29834.
Yes, Commissioners, it's with great pleasure that we would like to recommend the board consider a resolution naming of our old Parks Administration building over at 1722 East Linwood, over in the 18th and Vine area, in honor of, and place his name on the building of Horace M. Peterson III. You have a memo in your packet, and you have a resolution to the same, and you also have some letters of recommendation, both a resolution from the Black Archives of Mid-America and also some individuals that support this action. And I know we have some guests here today that would like to address the board on this particular issue.
Very good. Thank you.
And maybe we go with Barbara Peterson.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm so, pardon my sunglasses. I should have taken them off before I came in. I would just like to say we appreciate the Parks Board consideration of this resolution on behalf of the Board of the Black Archives. Horace is a pretty well-known figure in the African-American community, and we believe, as set forth in the resolution, that he has made significant contributions to the African-American community and greater Kansas City as a whole. His goal was to bring to the community an appreciation of all of the significant contributions that African Americans have made to the growth and development of Kansas City, and also to promote the continued growth and development of our community. And so we believe that over the last several years, or for quite a few years, Black Archives has worked in cooperation with Parks and Recreation on a number of projects, community projects for the community. Most recently, we have worked very well with Parks in terms of the redevelopment, the renovation of the Parks Department building at 17th in the Historic Jazz District. It's been a pleasure to work with the people from Parks. Mark McHenry has been absolutely fantastic. Mr. William Warren was essential to some of the nuts and bolts of the project. He's really a great person in terms of architecture and how to put things together. So our partnership has been beneficial throughout the years, and we certainly hope that it will continue in the years going forward. And once again, we appreciate your consideration of this, and we would consider it an honor if the Parks Board would approve our request and resolution. We think that it would be a most welcome recognition of all of the work that Horace put in terms of trying to build and promote the Kansas City community. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Is there anybody else, Mark, that we needed to sort of hear? Is there anybody else who want to sort of say a few words? Please, yes, you'd love to hear from you. Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Dr. Doretha Williams. I'm the new executive director here at the Black Archives of Mid-America. And I, too, would like to second everything Ms. Peterson said, and thanking you for considering naming the building the Horace M. Peterson Building. We're grateful for that. We also would like for you to join us in our grand opening coming up June 16th. You have information in your packets, and there's also information on the table here to talk about honoring his legacy and capturing the lives and the materials documenting African American history in the Kansas City region. Again, I thank you for your consideration, and my information's on the handout you have here. If you have any questions, please contact me.
Very good.
Thank
Thank you very
you.
much.
Good deal. Alex, did you have anything you wanted to say or anything? or- All right.
Mr. Fields?
Ms.
Taylor?
Taylor?
Mr. Fields, would you like to say anything? Okay, very good.
Well, I'd like to say, if I can, that I feel like the renaming of the Bama building after Mr. Peterson is more than appropriate. The work that we have done in cooperation with Bama in beautifying that building is remarkable. I don't know if everybody's had a chance to get down there and see it, but it's a really nice building, and hopefully everybody can make the grand opening as well, which is set for this summer. So
Okay, great. Very good. Is there a motion to approve the recommendation?
moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Resolution number 29835.
Yes, Commissioner, this is consideration for a licensed facility use agreement for the Universal Soul Circus that would take place here in Swope Park, August 1st through the 5th. Recommend approval. You have a memo in your packet from Shannon Dooley, and I believe we have guests, and so I'll turn it over to Shannon.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Afternoon.
Ben Johnson is here with Universal Circus. This is coming back to Swope Park after many years away. But they're coming back this year, hopefully, with your approval for the first week of August. If you have any specific questions, Ben's here to answer them.
Well, we'd love to hear from you, Ben. Tell us a little bit about the event and what you guys are going to be doing.
Okay. Well, we've been in business since 1994. We've been coming to Kansas City for over a decade. And it's been about 9 years since we've been in Swope Park. So we'd love to come back. And the Kansas City community has embraced us, and we certainly appreciate that. We've actually been working with Parks and Recreation for a number of years, working to get the youth out when we come, mostly in the summertime. For those of you who don't know, we're an internationally recognized circus. We are constantly in the top 10 of requested events at Ticketmaster. We are one of the top 3 circuses in the United States, which would include Ringling Brothers as well as Cirque du Soleil. Our circus performers come from all over the planet: China, Russia, South Africa, Venezuela, Ecuador, a variety of countries, and we keep it fresh every year. So if you've seen the circus last year or the year before, or the year before that, you're going to see a new one this year. We'll bring back a few of the classics, but we always keep it fresh. And it's something that a family can attend. You have a lot of events throughout the year where they go for the kids, they go for the adults, but this is one where the whole family can go. And it's very affordable. And in working with the Parks Department, we look forward to having a great event. So if you have any questions, as Shannon said, I'll be more than happy to answer.
Thank you. Are there any questions?
Yeah, what is your anticipated attendance?
We hope that every show will have 2,300 people. That's our max capacity under the big top. You have reserved seating for 2,300. And we'll do August 1st, which is a Wednesday, through August the 5th, which is a Sunday. So there'll be 11 shows total. And so if we're lucky, we'll have 2,300 every show, but maybe average about 2,200.
Where is the location in Swope?
When you enter from the Swope Parkway and Meyer Boulevard entrance,
Okay,
and you go toward Starlight Theater, there's a fork.
okay.
To the left is a small island. It's right across from the new pavilion you have.
Okay,
In that island is where we would set up the circus, and the parking would be throughout the park area on the street, as well as off on some of the grass area.
The mall area and towards the west,
Okay.
depending on how the shows, ingress and egress.
Okay.
Some might start parking over here for the morning show.
gotcha.
This might be the afternoon show, depending on.
Okay.
Do you look at this as a regional or just a citywide draw?
This is a regional draw because we do play St. Louis, but we get people to come from Topeka and further out to come to Kansas City. So we're able to draw from Kansas, from Missouri, and some of the other states as well.
Great.
Thank you very much. Any other questions?
Just a statement, this is another example of the partnerships that the Parks and Recreation Department gets involved in that brings people into the city and is an economic tool for the city. And I think you're to be commended for that, and we thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Very good. Motion is seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution passes. Move forward with resolution number 29836.
Yes, Commissioners, we have before you an agreement for the 8th Annual Dragon Boat Festival. And Mr. Bob Chin is here. He's the founder of the Kansas City Dragon Boat Festival, and he's been working with Shannon Dooley. And you have the memo from Shannon outlining the details on the event on this Saturday, June 9th. If you have any questions, I'm sure Shannon can answer those. And I believe Mr. Chin has something to say also.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
This year is the 8th annual Dragon Boat, and we are very happy our sister city, Xi'an, will be have a team coming to participate. Yes. So make it a special occasion. Mayor James will be have a city team to compete. And we are honored, and we will be have a banquet for our guests. And therefore, all the commissioner and your sports are invited 6:30 at the Intercontinental Hotel.
Excellent. Thank you.
6:30. You and your sports all are invited. And this year we have 7 college teams participate. If MU come in, that will be make it 8.
We're working on it.
It's in our flyer, people will be looking at, okay, you can stay in there only short time, is retired in there. We hope they are coming, and we are honored, and we are very happy that we are improved every year, and with Parker help, we should appreciate. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any questions or?
We have veto authority on our team.
Yes.
We just need to defend our title.
I was going to say, who won last year?
Paddles
I
has
just want to make
defend
sure.
their
that-
title.
Who,
Very good. Well, we look forward to, once again, having a team to participate in the race, and we'll try our best to beat those college teams and the team from our sister city. So,
yeah.
look forward to it. Thank you. Any other questions? I think, to Dave's sort of comment on the previous discussion with the Universal Circus, this is once again a fantastic sort of partnership. It's a thing that continues to grow year after year. We're glad you have continued to take up these efforts to do the event, and we're just happy to be a partner in that. So thank you very much.
And if Mayor's team didn't show up, then Park Recreation team is represent city.
Yes, exactly. Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, no pressure, right? There you go. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Was in, let's see, motion is and seconded, how's that? And all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good, resolution passes. We are on to resolution number 29837.
Yes, Commissioners, this is a concession agreement with Legacy Development for an event at the Parade Park on the day of June 16th. And you have a memo in your packet from Shannon, who's here to answer questions. And also, we have a guest representing Legacy Development.
Great.
This is a one-day event in conjunction with a bunch of things that are going on with the Black Archives grand opening and everything. Makita Peterson is here to talk about that evening festival concert type event.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Makita Peterson, and I am a representative of Legacy Development, and I'm here to present to the board Juneteenth 2012 Remembering Pete, which will be a community event that we would like to host that'll have musical acts and live entertainment throughout the day. This is a flyer that Shannon does have, and basically what we want to do is just provide bring back the Juneteenth memory that used to happen during the times of when my father, Horace Peterson, was still living, and that the district did continue even after his demise. We are wanting to really highlight more awareness and advocacy pieces with these events, also having that social aspect, but we definitely will be in our planning to work with Parks and Recreation to highlight the Make a Splash program. I'm not sure if the board is aware, but Horace did lose his life in a water safety accident in 1992, so we wish to kind of connect the community to that memory and also have the memory of celebration for the grand opening of the archives, but also remember and advocate for summer swim safety lessons for youth in the community, and also just reminding the community of having the connection and education pieces with Juneteenth as well.
Very good. Sounds like a great event.
Thank you.
Okay. Any questions? All right, see no other questions. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
So motion is seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is the presentation by Dr. Leanne Taylor-Knight.
Yes, sir.
She's going to talk a little about the Kansas City Team Plaza project.
Yes, just a quick note in the packet, Commissioners, Dr. Knight was here on the 6th of March and gave us a preliminary report. She said she would come back later in the spring, in the month of May, and give us a final report. So glad to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting us back again. And with me today, I have Emily Kennedy, one of our research team members. And we're actually representing the entire research team. Dr. Brian Houston of MU is in Columbia today, and Dr. Injin Seo of KU is the fourth member of our team. We want to, of course, thank the Kauffman Foundation, the Greater Kansas City Community Foundation for the funding of this report. And I also want to give a special thank you to Commissioner Bryant, who actually helped us secure some of the youth and the youth voice as we went forward with this particular effort. As you know, we were called to the table to be able to take a look at the youth voice as it relates to some of the violence that has occurred in the city, in the past few months. And it was very important for that youth perspective to be heard. So we engaged youth in focus groups and developed a survey that then was shared both online and in written form with youth across the city. And we're here to report a little bit about that today. Emily's going to talk a little bit about the findings, and then I'm going to share a little bit about some of those recommendations and the results. I think the key unique pieces for us to be aware of as a community.
Very good.
We'll try to keep it short, but we did meet with 50 different focus group participants, and we had nearly 300 survey respondents, so we got a lot of data, and there are several findings. So the first thing that we found was that we need to be careful when we use the term flash mobs, which we've seen in the media and various places. We need to be careful when we use the term because the literature has defined it as a large group of people who gather in some predetermined location, perform some brief action, and then quickly disperse. When we talked with participants in the focus group, several said they were unsure of what the term meant. And our survey responses indicated that 35% of the kids who took our survey did not know what the term meant. So when asked to provide adjectives describing flash mobs, we got things like fun, random, and spontaneous. Violent was the least popular term. So we need to be careful when we use this term. The next finding we had was that boredom and a concern for safety were consistent themes in many of our participant responses. In our focus groups, we heard time and again that there are a lack of fun things to do, that there's a lack of transportation, particularly for teen participants to events, and that some teens are worried about safety when they leave their homes. Our survey responses also indicated that boredom was the third most popular reason to participate in a flash mob, and our main calls for improving Kansas City called for an improvement in safety and more entertainment facilities. So it's been really encouraging to hear some of your resolutions because I can tell this is on the agenda. A third finding we had were perspectives on the curfew. Common adjectives to describe the curfew were that it was unfair, unenforceable, and a reaction rather than a prevention. However, there were some people who did find it to be an appropriate response to the violence that had occurred in Kansas City. So we had a kind of split of opinions on the curfew, but majority of teens, and not all of them were students, some of them were working teens, felt that the curfew was not the most effective way to prevent violent flash mobs from happening in the future. A fourth finding we had was that there's a strong relationship between flash mobs and social media, which you didn't hear in the definition that I read. But the teens in Kansas City said that they heard about flash mobs via Facebook, that their most popular social media venue is YouTube, and they would most commonly use text messages to communicate for meetups. So when we think about how to address teens, it's important to know that this is a medium, the social media are media that the teens are using, and they're using this to organize things like flash mobs. And the fifth finding we had was that
And this was of great concern to everyone. Why are teens doing this? What are the motivations for participation in flash mobs? And we found one of the main motivations that we found in the focus groups was for fitting in and being cool. Our survey responses sort of supported that. The number one reason for participation was to express themselves, and the number two reason was to hang out with friends. So both an individual and a social experience in these events. And one of the most interesting findings from our report was that the total percent likely to participate in the future for flash mobs in our survey was 37.7% of respondents. The total unlikely were 51.9% of our respondents, and then we had approximately 10% that were undecided in terms of their future activities.
And I think it's important to remember that that 37%, there wasn't a definition between flash mobs that led to violence versus flash mobs that led to fun. So, you know, that's kind of just where those youth are. Now, you may be asking yourself why this study or what's different about this. We've talked about, you know, violence. We're not the only city that actually has been dealing with these kinds of issues in the United States or even across the world. Some of our literature supports things that have happened and been studied in other parts of the world. So, but what I guess for us it's important for folks to know is what's unique about this report, what's something that we can learn from as it relates to our Kansas City context. So in the overview of the report, we do point out, I think, some of the more salient points for people to take to heart, especially as folks are looking to design programming to address these issues and to be proactive with this rather than reactive as we hit this summer. So one of those, again, Emily kind of ended on this note, the youth want to be able to express themselves. So it's not enough to design a program where you can warehouse the youth or put them, you know, just together. It's really about this opportunity to express themselves. And I think that was something that was an undertone and an overtone in our focus groups as well as in our surveys. And so we want for those interventions to be designed with that in mind and probably asking youth what they want as it relates to expressing themselves. You can read within the details of the report some of the things that the youth said that was. And I appreciate you guys shaking your heads and affirming that, and that you know that, you know, it's things, it's opportunities for musical release and other interactions with one another. Also, the YouTube piece surprised us a little bit. I think we expected to hear Facebook and texting to be that most popular way, but the fact that YouTube is listed first as their primary source for getting information about events also ties to that expressing themselves, right? What can you do today? Today, you can video anything that you do and actually place it out there on YouTube. And that's a form of expression, but that's also where the youth are going to get their information. So it's pretty critical that as programs are designed, that we think about not how I, as a parent of youth this age, might want to learn about events or be connected to events, but about a more interactive kind of a space in that YouTube venue, in that Facebook venue, in that texting venue, that's the place to actually share with them about what's coming on. It's actually the place to ask them about what they would want to have happen too, right? And to ramp up their interest with one another. And finally, again, there was this mixed review on the curfews. You know, of course, like teens, they're going to react negatively. What? Somebody's telling me what time I have to be there or what I have to do. You know, but there was also an understanding of why that curfew existed. And the bottom line was, if we're going to have a curfew, that's okay. Just give us zones where we can go and places where we can express ourselves and interact with one another. So it's like they understood that, but they wanted to have, you know, that bigger picture seen. And I think also what resonated with us was this idea that it has to be a place where kids feel safe. And that's our primary job as adults, is to create those zones where they feel safe. So they were not resistant to there being security there or police there. They had very specific ideas about what made them feel safe. And I think we want to keep that in mind, and that it's a part of a bigger issue of safety within the city. And I thought it was interesting because we were able to use the Kansas City Commission on Violent Crimes final report in 2006 And much of what we heard actually validated what was in that report, you all. And I thought, you know, for you guys to know that it circles back around and that you're hearing that again, I think is important. So we appreciate the opportunity to present to you and are happy to take questions if you have any.
I have a quick question. One of the issues that was kind of fleshed out in some of the focus groups was that a lot of students aren't aware of the offerings of the park department, and that we weren't aware that we weren't reaching them. And I guess in connection with your finding that YouTube would be the best avenue to reach students, would you suggest that we use students in those YouTube videos that we then post on, you know, student organization sites to kind of be our voice?
Absolutely, McLean. The literature, some that's referenced here, but if we were to do more in-depth research with that, the literature would absolutely support that it should be youth to youth.
Okay.
In that, absolutely.
Also, I was thinking about this recommendation in particular. We met towards the end of where we did a pre-test survey with a group that does a teen radio show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
Generation Rap.
You got it.
Yeah.
And they are extremely well connected. Those kids know everything. It feels like they know everything.
Those
that's
are my
going on
kids.
in
I
the city.
mentor them.
Yeah.
So
I
that
take
might
great
be
pride in
really,
them.
that might be a really strong alliance to turn to in terms of getting the word out about events that are happening and helping connect through the. You know, I think they have a very strong and firm grasp of a lot of these social media things that we're talking about. So in terms of, you know, ways to make the connections that need to be made.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you all for your work.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate
And
finding
there
this.
are copies of the report with Carmen if there are audience members who would like those. And it will also be posted at our website today after
good.
this, www.kcaerc.org.
Thank you so much for your
Thank you
hard
very
work.
much. That's the appreciation. Thank you.
I guess I would comment that it's, again, indicative of the involvement of McLean in particular in this particular issue, but Parks and Recreation in the health and well-being of the city. And that is an important factor. This type of information, this kind of tool is an immeasurable benefit to us in knowing which way to go and how to react. I'm about 5 generations past this, so I have no idea, and I really appreciate this. I will study it, and I picked up on some of the things you said and really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Moving forward, resolution number 29838.
Yes, Commissioners, next item is amendment number 3, professional services technical for the Plaza Tennis Center. You have a memo from Mark Bohm. I know Tammy Tradico is here today to recommend approval of this amendment and also introduce our guests.
Commissioner, this is the third amendment. It's actually the fourth year of a 5-year agreement with Kansas City United Tennis. They are responsible for all the expenditures as well as the revenue derived from the operations. They take care of the inside. Basically, they take care of everything inside the fences. We take care of everything outside the fences. But what I would like to do is invite Elliot McDermott and Scott Hanover up to tell you a little bit about the operations now at the Plaza Tennis Center.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
You need to be here with me. It's our pleasure to be here, and just wanted to give you a brief overview of what we're doing this year at the Plaza Tennis Center. Of course, we're offering instruction. We would love to see any of you or your families out with us because we have lessons for adults, all ages and skill levels. There's a big focus now on youth. The USTA has a big initiative now to bring more kids in the 10 and under area to tennis. We're trying to do more community outreach, get out to more schools, find different organizations that work with youth. So it's great to hear kind of all of these things that are happening, and we're happy to work with any of those organizations. A lot of things are going on to try to form kids clubs, and we're going to have some play days where kids just come and sort of play tennis, even if they really don't know how to, at least if they think they know. It's a great experience for them. Besides our school visits, we have occasional free clinics and things we do for folks to get them introduced. We also offer Groupons and use that as one of our outreach things to get folks that may have not normally come to the tennis center. We also have a big economic tool at the tennis center. We do a lot of revenue generating through tournaments and bringing folks both from in town and out of town to come down to the plaza. We have novice tournaments for kids that are playing their first tournament experience, all the way up to a regional event, which is basically kids that are nationally ranked type of thing. Adults, we are hosting for the 7th time the National Husband and Wife Tennis Championships this year. We have the Kansas City Open. We have some non-elimination tournaments for adults, and we also have the Bracket of Death. That one might be best avoided, but the guys that play it just absolutely love it. Behind the scenes, we work on, we've just recently redesigned our website with a new splash page. We've doubled our number of Facebook fans. We know that social media is a way to reach a lot of the young folks and the 20 and 30-somethings. We also do several charitable events. We just had a fundraiser for an orphanage in Kenya. We work with the CDH, which is Children's Heart Defects Group. They have a fundraiser in the fall with us, and we just recently hosted the Brandon McPherson Memorial Tournament for the 9th time. That's a fundraiser for the Park Hill for a scholarship program that they do. And finally, we just have a lot of partnerships. We work with Brush Creek Community Partners, YMCA, Win for KC, Genesis School, the Kansas City Explorers Professional Team, UMKC, the Stephanie Waterman Foundation. So we work with all different kinds of groups with tennis, and we're just excited about all that's going on, and would certainly invite you to come down sometime this year and see us.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
What happens if somebody can't afford, like if a parent wants to bring their kid to do tennis lessons and they can't afford it?
What a great question. We are trying to form our own separate 501c3 because we don't really have a fundraising vehicle at the moment for that, but we're looking into that. There's always been a Parks Department type of thing in the past for that, and
Right.
we want to continue to work with that if we have people like that. We do get an occasional inquiry like that
Okay.
from folks.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I guess I should have mentioned one last thing. We're tennis dressed today because we're actually having a site visit from USTA. We are also one of the few places in the country that's a regional training center. So this is where kids in the 14, 12, and 10 and under areas are coming in for regional play, and they're coming to do a site evaluation today. They were supposed to come tomorrow, but they've decided to come this afternoon. So we're heading off after this to go get ourselves checked out and get graded on how we're doing. And so we're looking forward to that as well, and we'll report back to you about how that goes.
For the record, Dave and I are tennis dressed as well.
Okay.
The one question, how many people do you believe you bring to the Kansas City metropolitan area in a given year from outside?
From outside. Is that in the stats that we?
Not in the stats, I'd say it's probably a third.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of tournaments, and tournaments don't bring just the player themselves. Almost every player comes with 1 to 2 spectators. I would say that it's easily several thousand, if not more.
I'd say it's upwards of 5,000.
Okay. Well, here goes that broken record again.
No,
Another
please, by all
example
means.
of economic activity generated by Parks and Recreation and their partners, and I thank you very much.
Absolutely, our pleasure.
All right, is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a
Second.
Motion seconded. Any further discussion? See none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good, resolution passes. Really quick before I go on to the next item, I would like to sort of see if our former councilwoman and state rep, Sharon Saunders Brooks, would like a sort of minute just to say a few things regarding the Black Archives. I know you were here to talk a little bit about that, missed you there, but
Yes.
floor is yours.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Commissioners and Parks and Rec staff. Thank you for affording me this opportunity. I want to publicly thank the Parks and Rec Department, the staff, former Commissioner Webster, Commissioner Bryant, for the wonderful working relationship that the members of the Board of the Black Archives of Mid-America have had with the Parks and Rec Department. This project is a long time coming into fruition. Many of us started working on the reconstituted board in 2005, and we anxiously await June the 15th. And I want to personally thank you all for agreeing to name the building after the late Horace M. Peterson. And we hope we can see you either on June the 15th or June the 16th. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much for your comments. Appreciate it.
Mr. President?
Yes.
As former Councilwoman Sharon Saunders Brooks was coming out, I was thinking about our previous presentation on dealing with some of the youth in this community. And Councilwoman Brooks was a huge advocate for youth activities and programs in our city when she was on the council. I want to thank you for that. We really appreciate that, and I know it kind of got us thinking how important that was to our youth and some of our programs. And I know Reese and, of course, Roosevelt Lyons are here today from the mayor's office. He's very much a part of this as well. We also asked that Deputy Chief Cheryl Rhodes be with us today also, because she's got a summer looking ahead of her, too. So, thank you.
Very good.
One other thing, Ms. Brooks? Yes. It says July on this flyer. I think it should say June. Here. Just thought you might want to know, so you didn't.
Yeah, that's a good point.
How
Thank
the
you.
library did that.
Very good. Okay, on to the next item, resolution number 29839.
Yes, Commissioners. Street Tree Service Contract Amendment Number 2. This is a contract with, or amendment for recommendation with Aspen Tree Experts for tree maintenance services. You have a memo in your packet from Mr. Forrest Decker that outlines the scope of work involved and the timeline associated with that. We'd recommend your approval. If you have any questions, our Park Superintendent, Mr. Decker, is here to answer those.
Is there any questions? Forrest, you want to say a few words regarding the contract? I think it's pretty straightforward, but I'd love to always hear from you.
I can. Yeah, as Director said, this is just an amendment. We actually originally approved this contract in May of 2011. This is the second amendment. We added some funds to it last year. This will be the final amendment that we do to this contract unless we get additional funds this year. But this is also not just to add the $425,000. It's to extend the contract for 1 year to expire on May 31st, 2013. So.
On the emergency services,
Yes.
the contract amount stays the same, whether they use those crews or not use those crews? Or how
No,
does
we
that
would,
work?
we would have to, well, we would have to either expend funds that are already encumbered in the contract or add funds to that. Usually whenever we have a large storm, we get, additional funding to help pay for it or to get reimbursed for the funds that we use. So, yeah, a storm would eat this up pretty quick.
Right. Can imagine. Great. Any other questions of Forrest? Seeing none. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there a motion seconded? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution number 29840.
Yes, Commissioners, this is a memorandum of understanding with Kansas City, Missouri and Platte County to establish an understanding for funding for two parks in the Northland, Platte Purchase Park and also Tiffany Hills Park. You have a memo in your packet that spells out the commitment on both agencies' behalf. This MOU also went to the City Council last week because it involves money, so the money's coming through the efforts of the City Council. It went through P&Z Committee, last week Councilman Ed Ford's committee, and it's here today for the Park Board's consideration. Travis is here if you have any questions.
Are there any questions of Travis at this time? Okay, seeing none, is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there a motion seconded? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Good, resolution passes. Resolution number 29841.
Okay, similar to the prior one, also Kansas City, Missouri and Platte County. This one does involve the city of Riverside, Missouri. It deals with the Line Creek Trail, which runs behind our Frank Grady Line Creek Park off of North Wacomas, and then it goes south to I-29, and then it enters the city of Riverside, and that's how they get involved in this agreement. And again, approved by the City Council from a funding perspective. If you have any questions, Travis is here to answer those.
Very good. Any questions of Travis? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
All right, motion,
Second.
there you go, seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution number 29842.
Yes, Commissioner, this is a change order regarding the Longview Track Aquatic Center, the Bay, or better known as the Bay, at Longview Track. This is spelled out again in some detail from Mr. Kiefer, kind of a wrap-up change order for a variety of things, and of course, we're scheduled to complete the work out here toward the end of the month. Again, Travis here if you have any questions.
Are we on track? Is everything's going to happen as planned in terms of the time?
Yes, right now, the contractor didn't miss the substantial completion deadline, but through various meetings, we've been meeting on a weekly basis out there, and our project manager, Scott Overbay, has been out there on a daily basis, and the contractor has assured us that they will meet the final completion date. They've increased the manpower, increased the hours that they're working out there and so forth to look like they are going to meet that deadline. So it looks like everything's on schedule right now.
Are any of those increases are going to come to us in the form of a change order, or is that included in the contract when you say there are increased hours out there?
That is on the contractor. This has to do with items that are needed for the facility.
Okay.
Not manpower.
Okay.
Any other questions of Travis? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Good, resolution passes. Resolution number 29843.
Yes, Commissioner, this is an agreement, a Recreation Trails Program grant between the city through the Park Board and the Missouri Department of Natural Resources for a section of the Blue River Trail. It's out by Alex George Lake. This is regarding some matching funds and our commitment to that grant. RTP, again, is Recreation Trail Program. If you have any questions, Travis can answer those.
Okay. Any questions of Travis in regards to this resolution? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Good, resolution passes. Resolution number 29844, which is a consideration of accepting of the gifts and contributions to the Parks Department.
Yes, this is for the Enshriners Memorial Fund. You might recall, this is the organization that I know most Mr. Lampone and I belong to, and you can probably recognize a few other names on there that are members of the organization. And this is to provide a memorial fund for our organization. But we keep the funds here in Parks and Recreation.
Fantastic. Very good. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
Would comment that
Yes.
the Enshriners were honored by the Missouri Parks and Recreation Association this summer for their work, and I think that's another important issue that's part of this.
Right. Yeah, I also might mention, too, we go through a pretty extensive process to join the Enshriners, and you might notice the fifth name on there, Mr. Clyde McQueen. He joined our organization, and I know he was heading up the EDC luncheon today, and so quickly got him on and got his $200.
Excellent. Very good. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
The motion is seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Very good. Resolution passes. On to the director's report.
Yes, major construction, Travis.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. The first thing I have is a certificate that's going around. This was an award that was received for the Making Grand project. The consultant on that was BNIM. Project manager was Heather Runkle. Heather had gone over the, I guess, the gist of that project a couple of months ago, but on May 3rd, the American Society of Landscape Architects issued this merit award. This recognizes significant contributions to landscape architecture in the planning and analysis category. So
That's great.
the second, you should have a packet on the Liberty Memorial in front of you and some slides of the progression. There you can see the first one's on the east side improvements. And even though the movie The Avengers is out, that green was not caused by the Green Lantern. That is hydromulching, hydroseeding on the slopes out there. Actually, you can see some of the rock outcrops. That's returning the site to as it was designed out there to expose those rock outcrops and to make it more pedestrian friendly. The second set of photos is on the South Court. You can see some of the improvements being conducted there with the fountain itself, and then also to the south entry, cleaning of the letters and so forth above that entry, and a lot of tuck pointing, flashing work being done on that. Last set of photos is the, I guess the most impressive, most significant there are the stairs. It's hard to see some of the actual work going on the tower itself since it's at the very top, and it's, you can see some of the stonework being done on those stairs and how those are being replaced and brought back to the original beauty of the entire monument. So, any questions on any of those?
It's really good. It's going to be amazing.
Thank you.
Travis, thank you.
Heidi, marketing report.
Here's another award.
Awesome.
Just, I mean, there's another award, but let me just tell you what that award is. This is, there's a recognition ceremony that occurred last week. It's the Public Employees Recognition, 19th Annual Award, and it awards employees in the Parks and Recreation, Public Works, other city departments, which is the city side. Also, they recognize federal employees and Jackson County employees, and this is the program. And the team that won in the category Distinguished Team Award was our marketing division. So
Nice
there's
work.
the award.
Thank you. I want to thank Mark for nominating us. And thank, of course, the rest of the marketing staff, Jesse Frazier, Shannon Dooley, Melinda Minks, and Mary Edith Lillis for all the support and assistance and enthusiasm they have for our jobs. So it's always great to be honored and appreciated. So thank you very much. It was a pretty cool deal. Also, I wanted to follow up on the comment about YouTube. We do have a YouTube channel. We do put our board meetings up there. We put our weekly report segments and just kind of various, events maybe that we have. Not really in a promotional mode, but we'll have to start doing that. Get some kids to do it because this totally backs up what you're saying about the kids will listen to other kids when you promote on YouTube because pretty much the things we put up as far as board meetings and weekly reports have about 25 to 50 views. And as you recall, we worked with those high school kids on that Greenworks recycling PSA, and that's been posted up on our YouTube channel, and they are like triple the numbers of views because that's what the kids do. They share it, they're excited about it. So I think if we can find some kids, maybe some of the ones that you work with, McLean, Commissioner, to maybe start promoting some of our programs, we can get them up on our YouTube channel and see if they show up.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Some of the segments that we've had on the weekly report, we did a segment on the signature hole at Shoal Creek Golf Course. We're going to be going around all the golf courses and kind of feature their signature hole on one of the shows every week throughout the summer. We did the Spring Valley Park dedication, which was actually a very nice event. I want to thank President Schrond for showing up that morning. He got to meet Frank White, and I need to send you that picture so you can send it to your brother. And then we, of course, had Al Roker in town last week, and I know you got an opportunity to meet with him or see him or plant around him. Yes, that was fun to have the Today Show broadcasting live from the J.C. Nichols Fountain, and so we got some real good plugs on national television. So, with the Parks hat on.
Parks hat.
I know, thanks. There's a method behind our madness. Of course, we have our just same things that are on my report. Employees breakfast coming up next, awards breakfast coming up already next Wednesday. I can't believe that. It seemed like it was months away. Something else I handed out is the flyers for the concert in the park. This is a kind of a new event we're doing. We're working with the Roanoke Park Conservancy and the UMKC Conservatory. Or did I get those backwards? Yeah. Anyway, it's kind of as a thank you and appreciation for all the work that they've done at Roanoke Park and a way for that neighborhood to come out and celebrate. And that is on June the 27th. It's a Wednesday evening, and we'll have a great jazz band out playing, and it is free and open to the public. So they'll be promoting it around the neighborhood, but of course anybody is invited to attend. We got to scooch out of here real soon because we've got the exciting opening for the Penn Valley Skate Park with professional skateboarder Rob Durdick and his people. So hopefully you guys can get out of here and get down there in time for it. I think we should have a really good crowd, lots of kids, a lot of interest in this. And so that should be a fun way to end our day. We're working, of course, on the Bay opening. I handed you out some of the tickets. That's for the Family and Friends Night on Friday evening, which we have a limited attendance for. It's around 1,000. And that is the wet reception. You can actually, or the wet opening, you can actually get in the water that evening if you like. On Thursday evening, we have kind of another preview, but that's the dry land reception, so don't come in your swimsuits that night. unless you just want to hang around in them. And then, just a bunch of stuff that's going to be going on after this. So appreciate your support and look forward to seeing you around a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I think you and staff, once again, congratulations on the award, very well deserved. I think it's reflective of all this is reflective of all the hard work you all put into parks and marketing it and putting together events. And what a great way for us, not just to sort of get out to the parks, but to do something fun while we're also there and using our boulevards. It's just fantastic. I'm always impressed. I always put the stuff on our calendar when I get home and show my wife, and she's like, you got something going on every day of the week. I said, well, imagine the people putting all this stuff together, the hard work it takes.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We're going to have is there anything else we need to look at, the calendar review?
One thing I wanted to mention, Dr. Robert Hodge passed away on the 6th of May, and this is from his services, which were on the 9th of May. Dr. Hodge, as you may be aware, was a former president of the Park Board. Of course, Hodge Park of North bears his name. His picture's out there on the wall. And he was one of the pioneers of this organization and served the department well over the years. And anyway, he passed earlier this month. And take a look at that.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, you want a legal matter?
Yes, I think we do. At this point, I ask for a call for a motion for us to enter into a closed session.
I'd like to make a motion to go into closed session to discuss legal matters, litigation, or privileged communications with attorneys pursuant to Section 610.021.
Very good. And then we need to vote one by one. So, Alan, your vote.
Aye.
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 Very good. Closed session, and we will go into resolution. Thank you.